make sure I look kind of presentable for the people, you understand?
As the publisher of Island Origins magazine, I get to talk to some pretty interesting people. Every now and then, I'll share those conversations with you on Calibe and Company.
How many wigs do you own?
Whew.
Are you so in tune with every culture that they all claim you?
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? The tour is called Major Issues Tour, so I'm sure everybody saw the controversy that was in the tabloids and the media and all of this stuff. So it's more speaking about that. You know what I'm saying? So this
you
tour.
Get into that on stage?
Absolutely. You know, I lost 100,000 followers because of that. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. My kids went through traumatizing situations. You know, a whole bunch of things happened because of that situation. But perseverance is everything.
Here's more of my conversation with comedian Majah Hype, who talked to me ahead of his premiere performance at the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida.
In doing I did a crash course in Major Hypology to prepare for this interview. And one of the things I noticed is that the comedy is often situational, but there were one or two things I came across that were actual social commentary. Do you have a mission or a perspective, a grand perspective of some sort when you are doing the work that you do?
Well, my sole purpose is to bring a culture together, right? I don't care where you're from. You could be Jamaican, you could be Guyanese, you could be Trinidadian, you could be Grenadian, you could be St. Lucian, whatever it is. My main objective is always to build the numbers in the strength of the diaspora, right? Because I've seen it happen. You know what I mean? Like before, when I first started doing these videos, there wasn't much an artist from St. Lucia doing a song with an artist from Trinidad, an artist from Trinidad it wasn't much of that. You know what I mean? And I think that people have gravitated to, you know, the purpose that I set out to fulfill. You know, even my hashtags, every one of my hashtags is Caribbean Pride, West Indies United, One Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted to just create a narrative where we don't look at each other as you are that, I'm this. You know, we're all Caribbean. We're all from the West Indies, right? So why not build up a fan base or build up a community where we have more numbers? If you got 3 million or 6 million people in Jamaica, and then you got 3 million in Trinidad, and you got, you know, 2 million in Barbados, all of us coming together is strength. All of us coming together is numbers, and we have to be able to support each other. So, you know, just the support and the unification of a whole diaspora to me was the thing that really I set out to do. So, you know, and also, you know, my comedy always has to be relatable. So that's why it's always situational things, because it has to be relatable. Like I love the fact that I can make a joke about something that somebody probably went through that it wasn't funny at the time, but now watching Majah Hype's video is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just taking our situations and also our stereotypes. You know what I mean? Not every Jamaican smokes weed. You understand what I'm saying? But it's a stereotype. You know what I'm saying? The minute you tell somebody you from Jamaica, they're like, "Oh, yeah, you with the good stuff." Like, and you're looking at them like, "I don't even smoke." Like, you know what I mean? So I mean, to be able to joke and to just take some of the things that, because you know the world is really sensitive right now, and every little thing that you say can be taken in a disrespectful way, or it can be taken offensive. So, you know, it's like walking that thin line and still, you know, being respectful, but also, you know, shedding light on the stereotypes. So you know, that's just where I'm at with it.
Tyler Perry, in doing his Majah and all of his various characters, that he was inspired by family members and so forth. How did your characters have their origins? Were you as a child mimicking people in the mirror, mimicking your school friends, families, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Family members, of course. The Ras is like my father, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Just like no nonsense type of guy, you know what I'm saying? And but Mitzi is is actually was like it was actually like a mixture of my experiences going to like beauty salons and seeing the little butterer come in and she try to sell her things them with her teeth. And it also and the attitude also came from my kid's mother. So it was like a mixture, you know what I'm saying? But I think that life in general is an influence, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you could like I've been doing this for 9 years, right? And you can look at every video and every video is different, right? Because my creativity, the way my brain works, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna remake a video or try to remix a video because there's so much inspiration in the world, period. You know what I'm saying? We're going through a whole pandemic right now. I could do the next 3 months about just this pandemic alone. You understand me? So, that's where my inspiration comes from. It comes from, of course, family, life, friends, parents, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Because one of my best friends was Guyanese, you know what I'm saying? I basically lived at his house. You know what I'm saying? The people who lived across the street from me was from Barbados. You know what I'm saying? So it's, it was like one big family, and I was just gravitating to everything. I was taking everything, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely life. You know what I mean?
Right. Deconstruct in your brain, the way your brain works, how you come up with a character.
How do I come up with
from your family now? The other one, not your father. The other one.
As I said, inspiration is inspiration from life, right? Like for example, when I first, started doing different characters. Well, the first 2 characters that I've ever created was Grandpa James and the Ras, and I really had to look at what are the characteristics of a character that would make them have longevity. And the longevity of it is, first of all, everyone loves a no-nonsense Rasta man. First of all, you feel me? Like that is just like, that's it, and everybody can relate to it because that's how Rasta man is. They militant. They're not stand for no foolishness. They understand, and certain things you can't just tell them. They're not gonna just accept it, right? So we are all familiar with that. No matter where you're from, right? Example: Peter Tosh. You know what I'm saying? Muta Baruka. Them man don't play. You can't just come and talk anything to them man. Them man not gonna play like that. You understand? So that's somebody who was, I knew that was gonna be around for a while. Grandpa James now. Grandpa James is a older grandfather figure. And we all know that coming from our generation, our grandparents was no nonsense, but they could be joking and they could, they say what they feel, and they say how they don't care how you took it. You know what I mean? And that's why Grandpa James fit the right scenario to do that. Does piss me off. So he's basically just letting you know what pisses him off, and the thing, and it just became longevity, right? So familiarity is always gonna be good for a character, right? And then I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know that these characters are gonna be around for a long time. I experiment, I introduce. And I look at the responses of the audience. So, for example, Mitzi wasn't really supposed to be a longevity character, right? But the responses of the people and the way I see that they loved Mitzi, I was like, no, Mitzi have to stay around. Mitzi cannot go nowhere for right now. You understand? Even the American girl that I do, what's her name? You know what I'm saying? She wasn't supposed. That was just me interpreting what I know for an American ghetto girl to be like. You know what I'm saying? And I just realized that, because I mean, down to even radio stations do that. They'll play music, they'll play new music, and whatever people gravitate to, you know, is what they leave in rotation. So I mean, it's the same. You know, example of what I do. You know what I mean?
But you said you look at the elements of what will give a character longevity. Obviously, there's some experimentation with that, but you seem to approach, and I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like you're approaching your characters in an intellectual way, and I just get up and say, boy, I'm going to try this thing.
Of course.
So, and then I look at your production. You said somewhere that you don't script the things,
at all.
But obviously you have to create a scenario in your mind, and with the multi-camera approach to the way that you're doing things, there has to be some kind of production in the background. What's that process all about? I mean,
all right, well, there's no multi-camera. It's one camera.
Okay, there you go. Mm-hmm.
It's one camera, and I'm actually, like as I said to you, I was just about to do a video before I called in, right?
Right.
I don't have any script. Right. I just have a scenario that I thought about as I was because for me, after I pray and, you know, I start to, you know, I'm that type of person that I have to move around for my mind to work, right? Whether it's cleaning, whether it's feeding the dogs, whatever it is, my mind is working when I'm doing that, right? And I say, you know what? I got a good video that I'm gonna do today, right? And there's no script, there's none of that. I actually do each character by themselves first. Right? Because of course, you know, it's just me in the video. But I will do every line. Like, for example, if I'm doing Grandpa James or I'm doing Grandpa James and the Russ, right? I will do every line that Grandpa James has to do right then and there. And then I'll change the frame, change the angle of the camera, and I will do every line in response that the Russ is gonna say. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no scripts or anything like that. It's just really like just off the top of my head. So I'm gonna show you what I use. Hold on one second. Let me show you. So this is my big production team. My director, my cameraman, everything, right? Do you know what this is right here?
Mic stand.
All right. Do you know what this is right here?
The little thing for the windscreen.
Exactly. This goes here like this.
Oh my God.
It holds the camera like that. And that's how I work.
That's the secret sauce.
Of course, I could have went and got, you know, a better holder and a better this and a better that and a microphone and a this and a that. But why change the formula if it works? You understand?
So you edit everything yourself too?
Of course.
Oh, what is?
Of course. It'll take me, all right, right now it's 11:02. If I start recording right now, it's going to probably take me about 10 minutes to do all of the filming. And it'll take me a half an hour to do the edits. And there you go. That's your video. I mean, of course, it took a while for me to become that, you know, that good on doing it. Because I hope that the people who watch my sketches and stuff like that, they see the progress. They see where the editing has come from, the better lighting, the sound is different. You know, the effects is different. I hope that people see the gradual progress. But yeah, the foundation, and that's what I always say about our community, right? We can't change who we are as people. Our foundation remains the same, but yes, we have to progress. Right. You know what I mean? So I mean, of course, we're gonna come across different. The times is changing, life is changing, and we're gonna progress. But the foundation should always remain the same, and that's just how I keep it. You know.
How many wigs do you own?
Whew. Whew. Would you? I got a box of wigs, like a big moving box. Yeah, so I mean, I probably own about maybe 60 to 60, 70, something like that around there. But I like I said, right? Some of the, because people, I don't want people to get confused with the characters, right? And I notice a lot of people do that. Like I'll like Mitzi is Mitzi's wigs, right? That's Mitzi. You understand? You see the little thing with the thing crab up and you don't know the thing mad on her. It didn't look out. You know what I mean? And then she have a purple kind of spike out thing.
Right.
That's Mitzi.
Right.
I realized that if I change a wig and I just do a Jamaican character, a Jamaican female character, they still call her Mitzi. And I'm like, no, that's not Mitzi. Like even when I do Eva Rifle, right? And his mother walks in and starts to, you know, cuss him about his music or whatever the case may be. They like, boy, Mitzi not easy. And I'm like, that is not Mitzi. That's Eva Rifle, what mother. It's a whole different, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. so I try to differentiate as much as I can.
Right, nice. So you study a breadth of accents, and I saw one interview you talked about the Barbadian, the Bajan accent is the most difficult one. What is the process that you go through in practicing or trying to perfect an accent?
Well, you always got to go to the source. Mm-hmm. You always got to go to the blueprint of it, right? And like I said, one of my neighbors, which is actually my god brother, his family is Bajan, right? Mm-hmm. So I was in that house a lot. Mm-hmm. So I picked up certain strategic parts of the accent, right? Mm-hmm. But now and again, I have to listen to Bajan music. I have to watch that Bajan interviews and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Listen, you know what I'm saying? So for me, well, a lot of people don't know, but I play music, right? Mm-hmm. I play 7 different instruments. Mm. My main instrument is the alto saxophone. Mm. I could read sheet music, but I also play by ear very well. Right. So I've always had the ability to hear something and mimic it. Mm-hmm. You understand? So now when I listen, just like how, you know, a Bajan from the countryside may not say mosquitoes, they're gonna say mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like how you have a Jamaican from town, they're gonna say, you know, it look like say, boy, you know rate me. A person from way up in the country gonna say, it favor like I say, you know really, you understand? So yeah. you have to really adapt to the mannerisms, to the difference in country and town, the difference from educated and uneducated, the difference from uptown and downtown. You have to really look into it and if this is what you want to do, right?
You don't do a lot of uptown characters.
Of course. Of course, you never see when Mitzi call the uptown lady, the proper lady who Mitzi must say take care of man or whatever, and she went to her house and she was like, yeah, I come to talk to Richard, and she's like, you know, who are you? I don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she went off and all kind of stuff. So yeah, I do try to put as much of every entity of the Caribbean involved. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a news report, whether it's, you know, a uptown or downtown, I don't like to just keep it Tega, Rega, and Ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Because there's other people that's watching. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I would always want my comedy and my sketches to be relatable. Right. So no matter who it is, whether it's, you know, uptown, downtown, whether it's educated, uneducated, I want everybody to be able to relate to my videos. You know what I'm saying? So that's the most important thing for me.
And then as a Jamaican, I'm listening to you and I just go and decide in my mind that you're Jamaican, right? But I saw you talking to a guy, I don't know if he was Haitian or what, but when you would break into an accent, it would be a Haitian accent. Do you find that and I know you said that you want to be mysterious and nobody must know where you're from, but are you so in tune with every culture that they all claim you?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Listen, I've traveled to 4 different countries. Yeah. And the 4 different countries I've went to, they said, welcome home. Yeah. Without even looking at my passport or anything like that. Just stamp my passport, welcome home. You know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, it's a beautiful feeling to be accepted by so many people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that means that I'm doing my job.
Definitely.
That means that I'm doing a good job of representing these nationalities, representing these cultures. And it just makes me feel like, that's like I'm doing my job. I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I've never had nobody walk up to me and be like, yo, why you disrespecting my country like that? Why you don't sound like this? You know what I'm saying? I've never had that. So, that just shows me that I'm doing a good job. You know what I mean? And just to be, the king of Caribbean comedy, or the king of comedy, and to be able to accept the baton from people like Oliver, you know what I'm saying? People like Larry Davis and Sprang Along and Juki Jam and all of these great comedians before me. It's so humbling to know that I can do that and push the envelope a little further, because Oliver is an icon in his own right. You understand? And I haven't done what Oliver done, and Oliver hasn't done what I done. You understand what I'm saying? And the differences that we all bring to the table, even Bad Boy Trevor, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their own style of comedy. And for me to be able to create my own style means that it's legendary already. You know what I'm saying? For me to be on the Breakfast Club doing interviews, and Hot 97 doing interviews, and BT show and all of these things, that mean that I push the envelope so that the next person that forward he won't have the difficulties that I had to get on these platforms. You understand what I'm saying? Because they know what to expect from us. So for me, it's just amazing for me.
Right. Has Oliver ever reached out to you?
Oliver cost me already.
What I'm confused.
Oliver, I love Oliver. You know what I'm saying? And he's such a he's not one of those guys that don't want to see the youth grow.
Right.
You understand? They have an old saying: "Him not kill champion, him build champion." You understand? And I've never had. I don't know if it was behind closed doors or whatever, but I've never had a bad experience with Oliver as far as like saying, yeah, him not funny. I mean, I rate him. You know what I'm saying? It was always a welcoming thing. You know what I mean? And I actually wanted him to host one of my shows that I do in King's Theater in New York, and he just wasn't available because he had his own play that he was doing. But he was open to doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, I think that's iconic for him to introduce me on stage to do, what I do. And I still want that to happen. Right. You know what I mean? But one day he called me and he was like, yeah, me have my, he was like, me have my play, I go on, and I promote my thing. Why you do a video right now, or else me I got diss up your, you know what I'm saying? And he just was like, but he was being comedic with it, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't offensive or anything like that. It was just like, it was just, I mean, even like Barris, I do Barris cruise every year, Love and Harmony, you know what I'm saying? And the first time I met Barris, he walked up to me and was like, say, yeah, idiot. Like, no hi, no good afternoon, no nothing. Say, yeah, why idiot, You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know how to take that, Mr. Barris. Like, you know what I mean? But I guess it's, it's comforting to know that he even watches my videos. Right. You know what I'm saying? Barris is a living legend. You know what I'm saying? And me and him has built such a good friendship as well. And him and my mom is like this. And, it's just like, it's just the unification and what this career has brought across is just amazing to me. And I'm just sitting there watching God work.
Yeah, man. Do you mix up with the American comedians as well? Do they?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I stand toe to toe with all of them. Nice. Nobody's gonna out comedy me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So and a lot of them has made that mistake. A lot of them, I've been on tour with some people and they like, why are you the headliner? Like, I've been doing this for 20 something years and I never even heard of you. Why are you the headliner? And after the show, they like, oh, okay, well, I see you does this.
Then
Like,
final.
like, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, now you do this. Like, I give you your props. I respect you, and you holding it down for your culture, and you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and no shade to any other Caribbean comedian, but it's a big difference between standing on stage and standing behind that camera. Right. You know what I mean? And when you go on that stage, you better deliver, because when people come out to see comedy, they want to laugh. And if you making them chuckle, you know what I'm saying? It's not about chocolate. You gotta have people, they gotta come out of there with abs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They gotta have muscle stomachs tighten up. You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful that I could be one to provide that for my people and for my culture. You know what I mean? And I've did shows with Mike Epps, Michael Blackson, you know, Jason Andors, I'm sorry, not Tiger Woods. I'm sorry, Tony Woods, Griff. I stood up amongst the best. You know what I'm saying? Guy Torrey. You know, so many people, and they after they see my show or after they see what I do, I even, you know, Marlon Wayans, D-Ray, you know, all of these people, when they see my show, they like, nah, you rightfully belong where you belong. You know what I'm saying? You might supposed to be bigger than what you are, but you know,
you'll get there.
Yeah, I take it one day at a time, and I know that God doesn't make any mistakes, and when it's my time, it's my time.
What is your relationship with South Florida?
South Florida is like one of the meccas of Caribbean culture. I mean, aside from New York, you know what I mean? South Florida is the mecca. You know, that's where most Caribbean people go to. That's where, you know, when they want to retire, when they want to move closer and take a little hour trip, you know what I mean? So it's one of the most substantial places in my career, and it's been so long since I've been there. So, you know, that's my relation to South Florida. You know what I mean? I have lots and lots of friends and family there as well. So, you know, I'm excited about returning back to South Florida.
And the Hard Rock is, of course, one of the iconic names in entertainment. So what is it like being at that particular venue for the first time for you?
It feels just like any other historic venue that I've done. I mean, I've done the Wilbur multiple times in Boston. I've done the Comedy Store, which is one of the most historic comedy, you know, venues, and Howard Theater, of course, you know what I'm saying, in DC. So, you know, we've been breaking barriers as far as Caribbean culture and Caribbean comedy. So, you know, it's a great accomplishment for us, not just me, but for us, because it's like opening doors for other people to walk through. So for me, you know, it's a great accomplishment, and it's, you know, I'm just proud of my accomplishments and the things that I've done to better us as a community and as a culture. You know what I mean?
How much have you been able to do since the pandemic? Have you done any shows at all?
Well, the last show that I've done before the pandemic was Trinidad and St. Vincent. When I came home back to the States, that's when the pandemic hit, and I didn't do any shows at all I think until August or October. I did Arlington, Texas, which was just one weekend, and then I think I did one other place, but that was the only two places that I've done for the whole pandemic of 2020. You know, the following show that I did was 2021, which was Valentine's Day, and that was a sold out show. Then I did Philadelphia, and then, you know, things started picking up, and here we are now with the Major Issues tour.
So do you end up, when you are, or, you know, in this particular situation, did you have then more time to get back into the online stuff, or is it always that you're juggling live performances and the online elements? Well,
it gave me a chance to really dig into my creativity, you know what I mean? And also, you know, I also want to bring more than just skits. So if you were following my career and following me on social media, you would know that I did clashes during the pandemic. I've done tributes to our artists that, I feel like they don't get the praise that they should get. You know what I mean? And I did a lot of different things for the culture itself, not just comedic value, but just, putting us on that pedestal and putting us where we belong. So for me, it gave me a lot of chance to explore different things and really tap into my creativity and also have a lot of material for when I, get back on the stage. So that was a blessing in disguise as well. Although, the pandemic has definitely hurt a lot of us, and, especially us as entertainers, that, this is what we do to provide for our families, and, this is our livelihood. So, yeah, I mean, you got to take it, both ways. You know what I mean?
What is that? So my background is entertainment as well. I used to be a touring singer, and I know it's a different experience when you're inside of the studio creating versus when you are on stage in front of an audience.
Absolutely.
And I know there are people who prefer being in studio because they're like, it's just come here and I can be with my art and whatever. You have a different kind of thing because of how your thing set up. So what do you prefer? Feeding off of the audience or being that creative mad person in front of the camera?
Well, it's for me, it's the best of both worlds, right? Because I get to be creative in my own space and look at the reactions of the people when they comment on the videos and stuff like that. And I always look at it as I listened to James Brown speak one time, and James Brown said that when you're in the studio and you're making these songs, which I would refer to making these comedy sketches and stuff like that, it's like promotion for people to want to come out and see you, right? So we make these sketches, or we make this music, or whatever we do, whatever field we're in. And the ultimate goal is to go on stage, because I love to interact with my fans. I love to, meet them. I hear different stories, how I help them through situations, how, these things happen. They lost family members or friends and all of these things. And to actually hear those stories is more gratification to me than money. You know what I'm saying? To hear that you can actually help a life or save a life. The amount of people that has reached out to me and say, I was in a suicidal, mind frame, and, I was ready to give up, and, your videos helped me through this. I was diagnosed with cancer, and, while going through chemo, you helped me get through these things. Those are the things that makes me feel good about my job. You know what I mean? The fact that, and I don't even look at my career as a job, because it's something that I love to do. So I'm just grateful to be able to interact with my fans, and, have them come out and, see people together, families and couples, and, just a room filled with positivity, laughter, and love is amazing to me. So I love being on the road, really. You know what I mean? And plus I get to see the world, you know what I mean?
Right. What's been the most interesting place you visited?
The most interesting place. Although I'm drinking out of a Leo cup, I'm a Sagittarius, right? And
like myself, yeah.
And we're nature people. We love to be outdoors. We love, you know what I'm saying? We also have our time where we want to just be closed in as well. But when it comes to like me being on a boat, and me being with the horses and stuff like that, I love nature, right? So, and I get to appreciate so many different places. So, to answer your question, I would just say the world. You know what I'm saying? Because I love to travel, because it gives me a sense of appreciation for other cultures. You know what I mean? To be able to go to somewhere else and see their culture, and it makes me appreciate their culture, and it also makes me appreciate mine. You understand me? So interesting places.
You seem to absorb cultures, obviously from the Caribbean. Do you do that when you're not in the Caribbean as well?
Oh yeah. Trust me, I've been to Rome, Italy, and I thought that was an amazing place. The historic buildings and statues and all that stuff, and I just enjoyed that. I also been to Japan, where their culture is totally different from Italy, but it was still an experience, and it was beautiful to me. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm just a fan of just exploring and just going across the world and just seeing different things and, you know, stuff like that. So I mean, I couldn't really pinpoint one place that was the best place, but there's so many places that I visited that I was like, wow, this place is beautiful. You know what I mean? It's just,
but you don't absorb them people.
Of course. Of course. I would have.
So you're where you are now, and I saw the interview where you said that you made $300. You asked for $300 at the first college show, or something like that. And you did an hour with people laughing for the whole hour, that first college show. Growing pains. Did you ever bomb early on in the career?
Never. I've never bombed. Period. Not once. I've had an experience, but it wasn't a bomb.
Right.
Like for me, bombing is booze, get off the stage.
Right.
That's bombing to me.
Right.
I didn't have that. I was doing a audition to try to get on Def Comedy Jam. And the jokes that I had at the time, that I was doing at the time, was not relatable to the American market. So they couldn't relate to anything that I was saying. So they were just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's funny, but we can't relate. You know what I mean? And it was only like an 8-minute set anyway. And they were just kind of dry and didn't want to hear it much. But it wasn't a bomb. And by the grace of God, like I said, I've never bombed yet. And I've did shows in front of DJ Envy used to do something in the city all the time. And that's a predominantly American crowd. I've tore that stage up. You know what I'm saying? I've done shows with Mike Epps. I've done shows, you know, in Miami, where it's downtown Miami, not the Caribbean part of Miami. You know, and like I said, that show was the show that I did with D-Ray and Marlon Wayans and all of that, and I ripped that show apart. So, you know, I think it was a lesson of growth. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started, my jokes was only relatable to Caribbean people. Now it's, you know, I know how to maneuver around the crowd and look at the crowd and know who's gonna relate to what. You know what I mean? And I even with my comedy, I've never written a joke ever. I just, you know, memorize things, and I go off topic, and I'll just create new things on stage right then and there. Well, this tour is more about me. You know what I'm saying? The tour is called Major Issues Tour. So I'm sure everybody saw the controversy that was in the tabloids and the media and all of this stuff. So it's more speaking about that. You know what I'm saying? So this tour.
You get into that on stage?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that who can joke about you more than yourself? You know what I mean? And when I mean it's serious allegations, but I know the truth. So therefore I don't let it hinder who I am as an individual. So I take it and I do what I do with it. You know what I mean? So for me, I just do what I do as far as comedy is concerned.
And your friends have typically stayed with you through?
I believe that whoever was in my corner from day one remained in my corner, right? You got to understand that being a celebrity, being famous, being in the public eye, everybody that follows you is not on your team.
Right.
You know, some people is just there to watch, you know, you buck your toe. You understand what I'm saying? Some people really don't like you, but they just can't get nothing out of you. So it's like, okay, well, I'll follow him, you know, I'll see. And then when something does arise, it's like, me I didn't know. Me get him know. Yes. Time to destroy him know. You understand? So I feel like, well, you know, when it first happened and the first allegation came out, I didn't respond to it because I knew that it was foolishness, and I knew that it was a poke at preying on people's sensitivity. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really want to respond to it at all. Then there was a second video of allegations that I put out sex tapes and all of this craziness, and I'm just like, now we're getting ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like anybody who knows me or know my character know that I don't stand for that type of stuff, and I'm not of that. So right. So for you to make these allegations, and like I said, I'm a Sagittarius, and Sagittarius people, one thing we don't like is people lying on us.
Yep. And
we'll go to hell and back to prove our truth and prove our innocence. So for me, I've responded, and to be honest to you, I don't regret responding because I got a lot of things off of my chest.
Right.
But in a different light, if I would have been in the mind frame that I'm in now, I wouldn't have responded the way I responded. Because I was in a dark place. I was in a place of hurt. I was in a place of betrayal. So it was a lot of different mixed emotions going on. So I responded the way I felt was necessary to respond. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm over that situation and I'm moving past it, and I'm just in a happier place and I'm at peace. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, I shouldn't have responded that way, but everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, if you ask me.
And now that you're out of it and you are in a happier place or a better place mentally, what do you feel like you've learned from that stress?
Oh, I've learned so much. But I think that it was supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't think God makes any mistakes. I believe that, I don't believe, I know that I genuinely loved that person. Mm-hmm. I genuinely wanted the best for us, but that I don't think that was the same interest from the other party. I don't think that's what the interest was. Well, I know that it wasn't. I know that wasn't real love either, because you don't try to destroy somebody that you love. Right. You don't embarrass and humiliate somebody that you love. Right. And I've been in all type of relationships, and I always want the best for my exes, no matter what the situation is. Mm-hmm. I can literally speak to any one of my exes right now today and say, "What's up? How you doing? You good? Everything good? Whatever." You know what I'm saying? So mm-hmm. I actually got this kind of backlash for loving somebody, and then that person turn around and betrayed me and try to make me look like a terrible monster. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't have any regrets, because it showed me that I still know how to love.
Right. And even that was the lesson, that you can love through.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even up to this day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I still know how to love.
Yeah.
You understand me? But what I won't do ever again is I won't go into anything blindly. Right. I'm not gonna ever not know what your goals are. I'm not gonna go into something not knowing, do you really want to be a celebrity, or do you love me because I am who I am? Something not right.
Yeah, I don't pay attention. Well, for me personally, I don't give too much energy to that negativity. We're gonna # stay positive.
Exactly. All the time.
Yeah, man. And I can feel that's where you are. I believe that's where you are in general.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just showing people that, perseverance is everything. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is everything, and remaining true to yourself is everything. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I said, people, I lost 100,000 followers because of that. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. My kids went through traumatizing situations. A whole bunch of things happened because of that situation. But perseverance is everything, right? And my kids are in a better place, and that means a lot to me. I'm in a better space. That means a lot to me, and my fans. If you go on my page right now, you see the 100,000 come back, so and more. You understand me? So I mean, I'm just true to the word of God, and I'm faithful to the word of God and what He says. You know what I'm saying? And for one, I'm not bitter. I'm not miserable. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like. You break free from somebody when you're not carrying that bitterness, when you're not carrying that vengeance, you know what I'm saying? I'm free of it. I no longer have to deal with that anymore. So now for me, you know, it's like, okay, I get to move on now. You know what I'm saying? God has broke me free from something, and now watch me flourish, watch me blossom. You understand? And I'm always gonna be grateful for everything that I've dealt with, because I feel like that's what makes me a better person. That's what makes me a better man, you know? So that's just where I'm at with it. I'm always gonna be positive. I'm always gonna stay true to who I am, and learn to enlighten people and help people through situations. And it's crazy because after that situation happened, the most women reached out to me that has been through real domestic violence, and they reached out to me for advice. They reached out to me for, you know, explaining their situations and stuff like that. So, you know, everything has its blessings in disguise, you know?
Right. You mentioned I'm going to move on for this topic, so stay positive. Hashtag stay positive.
Absolutely,
right?
Stay positive.
Yeah, man. You mentioned your children a while ago. So are they growing up in a rainbow of Caribbean cultures all around them every day?
Yeah.
Are some American picnic off?
No. No. No, they're born in America, but they are very familiar with the culture. They're very familiar with the culture. They're familiar with other cultures. You know, I try to expose them to as much as possible. So just for the simple fact, like I said, I want them to be able to appreciate their own culture and also respect other people's culture. And I believe that's you know, it helps us to understand each other more. You know what I'm saying? So I have three baby mothers. Well, they're not babies anymore, but you know, the mothers of my child, there's three of them.
Right.
One is from Trinidad, and the two others is from Jamaica. And you know, my kids are very close to each other as well. So they're all, you know, they're siblings. They're real siblings. Right. You know what I'm saying? So despite the fact that they have different mothers, they are close, and my kids' mothers are very close as well. You know, they all in a circle where, you know, they're cool with each other. You know what I'm saying? There's no grief. There's no bad vibes. There's no, you know, me not want my youth them round fear youth them and all of that madness. I don't understand that lifestyle. I don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, situations happen where it gets like that. But for me, by the grace of God, my kids are good. They're all well-rounded. Their mothers are good. And we all have good communication. We have good, you know, respect for each other. And that's just what it is. Sure. So my kids is very exposed to the culture.
Nice. Did you want to become a comedian when you were a kid as well, or did that?
Absolutely not. 100% no.
How did that evolve then?
I always had that comedic value as a youth growing up, right? I was always the one who was joking. I always had the room laughing and all of that, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. That was just a part of who I was. That was just part of my character, right? And a lot of my friends who I grew up with and everybody, they always said, yo, you should do comedy. And I'm like, comedy? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm not doing that. I want to be a singer. I want to be a DJ. I want to be this. I want to be that. So I always tell people all the time that music is my passion and comedy was my gift. Right. You know what I'm saying? I love music. I still play music. I still DJ once in a while on my lives. I still sing. I still make up music. You know, when I do a Buju video, that's my lyrics. When I do an Evil Rifle video, that's my lyrics. Like, you know what I'm saying? And people always be like, no, you need to put out this song, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I feel like, yeah, I can do that, but I don't want to get sidetracked with my main goal and my main purpose, which is, you know, my comedic value is everything to people. And, you know, you being a part of the music world and the industry, you know how hard it is for music to bust. Yeah. You understand? For me, I could do my video, like you said, me and my microphone stand, and we work together very well. And I do my
Right.
comedic videos, and I post it on my page. And I don't need no guy, no woman to do nothing for me. You understand? If
And
I'm
you
doing,
own
if
your
I'm,
corner.
yeah, you understand? I'm in my own lane and I'm doing what I do, and I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. When you're doing music, you need a radio disc jockey for this. You need somebody for do the publicity part of it. You need somebody for put it on all of the websites. Them. You need Spotify. You need Apple Music. You need this. You need that. You need everything, and it's a collective thing in a whole that you will need others to do things for you. You understand? And I've been down that road for a long time. You understand? So I don't ever want to go back down that road. So I've created a platform right now where I could do a song right now and put it out right now, and people, and my fans are gonna gravitate to it, and you know they're gonna respect it because it's my platform now. You understand?
Right.
So yeah. So I didn't want to be a comedian. I you know it happened in between my career. I was laid off as an electrician. And I just started doing the videos because, you know, it was just something to pass the time and be funny and have fun with, you know, and I started doing that. And it started to work. Our audience started to grow. And when they called me back to work, you know, I took the leap of faith and said, you know what, this is something that I really love to do, something that I think that we need, because supply and demand is always going to work, right? So, you know, to see that something was missing from the Caribbean market, which to me was comedy and the different styles of comedy and being able to bring the whole diaspora together. To me, that was missing, and I fulfilled that need. So you know, and I just ran with my gut feeling and you know the purpose that God has given me. You know.
Right. For those who have only been seeing you in your online 1 minute or 90-second videos, what's different when you get on stage to do the stand-up show?
Them have to come at the show to see.
No, because they're going to be reading about this heading into your Hard Rock performance. So
right.
what?
Well, you know what? It's like saying, all right, do you get the same energy listening to a Beyonce song and going to a Beyonce concert? Do you get the same energy? No, it's two different energies.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? When you have to understand that when you spend your money to come and see your favorite, whether it's your favorite comedian, whether it's your favorite singer, we look at that as a blessing because you are spending your money to come and see us. So now I got to put on for you. Right. I got to put on for my fan base, the people who said, you know what? I dedicate October 15th to going and seeing Majah. I love him. I'm a favorite comedian. He always let me laugh and go through certain serious situations. So you know what? I'm definitely going to see this man. So now, as an obligation for you to come to see me, I'm obligated to make you leave and go home and say, yo, would I go to our next show with Majah if I do, because this man is hilarious. You understand me? So for me, I go the extra mile when I'm on stage. You know what I'm saying? And it's you know, it's not something that's rehearsed. It's not, you know, it's interaction, and nothing beats interaction. That's why most of us is going sick out of our head right now because of this social distancing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we can't even, you know, get together as one, and you know what I'm saying? So the opportunity that we have to sit in a room and have fun and, you know, interact with each other, you know, it's priceless. You know what I'm saying? So expect.
Do the wigs come out?
Eh?
Do the wigs come out? Mitzi show up on Ras and all them? Sometime. You never know. All right.
You never know.
All right. What other business ventures do you have going? I hear about the Bentley. I don't know if I saw the Bentley in my research, but I heard about the Bentley. I heard that I hear you saying you're doing very well. You're very successful with your mic stand and your sticky something.
Absolutely.
And you seem like a very intellectual person as well. What other business ventures? How are you growing your empire?
Real estate.
Nice.
You know, I'm buying properties, I'm selling properties, I'm, you know, Airbnbs, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Also, I'm still staying within the lines of comedy and stuff like that. I'm actually filming a movie with Kimani Marley called Vendetta that I got casted for. I'm doing that. Also, I created a Black-owned business directory called For Us 360. It's an app where you can, get on the app and, you click where you're at, your location, and you can see all the Black-owned businesses that's surrounding you. Nice. So, we put that on pause for a little while just to, clear the air with a lot of things and a lot of stuff happening. So, we're back at it now, and we're actually going to have it in the Google Play Store and on the iPhone and all that stuff. So, I'm actually, and plus I'm also investing in myself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my shows is me. I keep my own shows. Right. You understand? So I don't depend on, like I said, I don't like depending on people. Right. To me, just being able to provide for yourself and do the things that you can do for yourself is amazing. You know what I mean? So the King's Theater show that I do in New York on September 4th, that's my show. And me and my agent, because a lot of people may not know, but my agent is Gersh Agency, and that's the same agent as Dave Chappelle, Jamie Foxx, and a host of other well-known comedians. Nice. So, we work for ourselves. Right. You know what I mean? We don't wait on a promoter to call us and try to downplay our worth and our value when we tell them how much we charge, and they're like, John, what's that? So really, you charge so much, my lord, and you know what I'm saying? We can't get this one for that price, and because that's what especially Caribbean promoters, that's what they love to do. They love to disrespect a different comedian with their value and lower their value. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's so many times where I've told my price, and they'll say to me, but I could get such and such for $5 bills, I could get such and such for 1,500,
Then get them.
Well, then go for them.
Yeah.
You're not going to devalue me by telling me who you could get. That person is not me. You understand me? So at the end of the day, you pay for what you get. You understand? You understand? So for me, I just build my own revenue by investing in me. You know what I mean? And not sitting down waiting on a promoter, because to be honest with you, if I did do that, sit down and wait on a promoter, I'd probably be broke right now. You understand me? So I invest in myself, and that would be the advice that I would give anybody, to always invest in you. Okay.
All right. So I don't need to ask that question. Awesome. Okay, that was going to be my last question. So I thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you. Stay positive. I love that. I love that.
Definitely.
I love that. I love that. Stay positive. Because that's what we have to do. And I feel like us as people of melanin, I think a lot of times we get caught up in trying to drag each other. Yeah. I think we get caught up in trying to, tear another person down. And I think that, we got to look past those toxicities that we know familiar to be. We got to uplift each other. We got to love each other, and we got to respect each other and support each other. And I think that's what's important for us. And that will be the thing that will better our future and our kids' future. You know what I mean? So we got to really practice that and stay on track with that. Just really just supporting and loving and respecting each other and loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's important for me. So I appreciate you. Thank you.